We're going to continue talking about positive and negative space and how the effects of it on a letter and how to make letters. Because we're going to use these techniques when we're doing several projects in the classroom. The logo, the word symbol. We haven't done the alien autograph yet. But every letter in the alphabet is a stick letter. And the stick letter is the positive space is the actual letter itself. The negative space is the space on the inside of the letter and also on the outside. But this is a letter A and this is a letter A. So you can see the negative space on the outside changes, but the positive space stays the same each time. Okay. So now if we take each of those letters and we want to make a stick letter into a block letter, draw a line about the same distance apart on the outside and the inside of each of the original lines that you drew, about the same space apart, and then close off the bottoms and the top. And once you erase all of this, or we'll make a dark outline of it, and now you have a block letter. And the block letter is probably the same thickness all the way around, as close as you can without measuring and using a ruler. And that's how you do a block letter. The letter S, you need to cross over and use just one line. So you come in here like this, because that's the bottom and the top of the S, and follow it along, trying to keep the same distance. But when you get to the middle of the letter, you're going to cross over and come around and reach out. Now, this definitely is the same thickness. So what you do is you join those. And what happens is it keeps your letter S the same height all the way through your design. And if it's not smooth enough, you can change the outsides. You can add more height to that part. You can bring this part in. You can modify it. So we do everything really lightly. But those of you that in the past have drawn the letter S and try to make a block letter by going around the outside becomes the inside, and then this one's way bigger than this one. And it'll end up going out of the area that is the same height as your other letters. Or if you did it the opposite way, it just makes this bigger and this bigger. But the real key is this angle right here and this angle right here, this center part of the S. That's the negative spaces, whether it curls or is straight. I'm going to show you how easy this is. If we have a rectangle and we put this shape and this shape in here, disregard that bell. So here's the S. Here's the S shape. Well, I want to take that same S shape, and we're using a rectangle, but it might end up being some other kind of shape that we're going to use. But if we straighten this out here like we've done over here, and we straighten this out over here, and we come in here like this, and then we make a loop and come straight down, and we make a loop and go straight up, then there's that S. Now we don't want to change any of this outside part of the S, because if we start cutting these corners off to make it look like a round S, then it's going to take us out of filling up the shape for our shapes. So I get asked about the S a lot, I get asked about the G a lot, so we're gonna do a G. But every letter in the alphabet's the same thing. If you draw a stick letter, there's a stick letter C. So this is the negative space on the inside, there's negative space on the outside. The positive space is this thickness. Well, the only difference between the C and the G is the G has this part that comes inside. So that's all you have to do is put that part on. And if you, let's say we're drawing a heart shape, and again, don't use any of the shapes that we use in the videos and the descriptions, because we want you to come up with your own stuff. There's that line. I'm going to come up. I'm going to do this line now. I'm going to follow this line, but I'm going to follow the curve of this heart, and about the same distance, it's the same thicknesses. See how those line up? I'm going to start to come up, and instead of coming up and going in, I'm going to go up a little bit, go in a little bit, and come to here. So there's the same shape. This same shape that's here has been modified a little bit, but this shape that is the inside of the G is now here. And we're going to do the same thing with the S. We're going to come in, we're going to come in, we're going to make a curved line and come down. We're going to come down and make a curved line and go up. And we don't have to change, we don't have to make this round down here. If you make this round, you're going to lose this tip. Just like if you made this round down here, you'd lose this tip of the heart. We want to keep this continuous flow of line around the heart so that we can put our letters in. And again, if you don't like it, you can always make it a little thinner, make it a little deeper. You could bring it in a little bit. You can change and make your S look however you want, but still this part of the S has to come all the way down here to the point. And that was how you make the letters fill out those shapes. Now, our next project is called the word symbol. So we got where you're going to follow the same thing. The directions were draw symbol, divide the symbol, and then put a letter in each part of the symbol. So if I wanted to put the letter N in here, I would find those shapes that make the letter N, which are these two triangles. And if I wanted to make this an M, it was these triangles that go in for the letter M. And I'm not changing. And once I erase everything that's not a letter, we still have maybe 85% of this original shape of the heart, and we still see the letter N. And if it wasn't enough, then we can always bring that down lower. We can always bring this up higher, but it's still the same concept as we're working on the negative spots that are in the inside of the letter, not worried about the outside of the letter. Go out there and have some fun.